He is a man of his word.
That's right.
Think about that. A politician doing what they said they were going to do. 3 presidents said, I will move the embassy to Jerusalem. 3 presidents. And by the way, one of them was a Republican. In fact, one of them was a Christian Republican. And he didn't do it. And now you got this guy that comes along that's got no background in the church, no background in the faith.
Right.
But because he made a promise that he would do this, he stands up and says, I'm going to move the embassy to Jerusalem. Why? Because it's common sense.
Yeah, it is common.
It's common sense.
That's it.
Because in 1967, Israel took East Jerusalem and the Western Wall, the Temple Mount, and they have held on to that, and that is, they moved their own embassy, their own government to Jerusalem. So why would we not recognize Jerusalem as the capital? They've declared it their capital.
That's right.
But we keep playing this game for decades and keep our embassy in Tel Aviv. That is nonsense. And now we got this guy that comes in that says, well, yeah, you say that's your capital? No, I don't see that as occupied territory. What is this occupied territory? Hey, yo, you lost it in 1967.
Yeah.
That's right.
You lost it. You got attacked by 5 Arab countries, and you won. You couldn't win. There's no way you could win.
They didn't start the war, by the way. Israel did not start the war. Everybody thinks that somehow they did something to steal Jerusalem, and here they were attacked.
Yeah.
And God was just giving them back the land that he said was theirs all along.
Yeah.
And he could have...
Bakker, right.
He could have gone years holding it back before he moves the embassy. But what did he do? He's a builder.
Right.
He said, I'll just remodel a building and we're going to open it up on the anniversary, on the 70th anniversary. So that's what he plans to do.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Absolutely
no red tape.
Nope. He's going to open a temporary embassy on the 14th of May, which is the 70th anniversary of the founding of Israel.
Amen.
Yeah.
So
He's
good.
doing it.
Well, let me just throw this in here. I'm amazed at people that try to prove the existence of God through science.
Right.
Okay, I'm not against science. I'm not saying that. But all you have to do is look at what the ancient prophets said. These prophets, 2,500 years ago, all said the same thing. They said that the Jewish people would be conquered, they'd be scattered, they'd be treated with contempt, but the day would come when God would call them home from the north and the south and the east and the west to their land, their ancient historic land, and then Jerusalem would become their capital. That's biblical, that's prophetic.
Yes.
And then on the 14th of May, 1948, at 4 o'clock in the afternoon in the Tel Aviv Museum, David Ben Gurion stood up and declared sovereignty. And how did those ancient prophets that didn't know each other, didn't have the internet then, how could they all be saying the same thing? God was revealing it to them.
Yes, that's right.
2,500 years ago.
Yes.
That's the proof that there is a living God.
Amen. Amen.
When Israel was recreated.
Israel is important to God.
If Israel was not important to God, there wouldn't be so much written about it in the Bible, and there wouldn't be so much prophecy regarding it. Jerusalem is where Jesus will return and stand on the Mount of Olives with open arms.
Oh,
Huh?
so exciting.
You think God didn't, when the prophet said Jerusalem will become your capital, that God was saying, well, unless somebody else is holding it? No. It said Jerusalem will become your capital. And when the 55th Airborne Brigade on the 7th of June, 1967, went into that city, you listen to the videos, watch the videos, listen to the audio tapes. When they finally got to that wall, for the first time in 2,000 years, Jews were able to pray at that wall. First time in 2,000 years. And you look at the most famous picture in Israel of the 67 war, is those Jewish soldiers looking up at that wall in absolute awe.
Yeah.
And listen to their voice of their commander. You don't have to speak Hebrew. Listen to the voice of their commander when he realized that they had taken the Temple Mount. It is a hard, Israeli commander, and he just starts to weep. Starts to weep as he says, we're at the Western Wall. Do you understand what I'm saying? We're at the Western Wall, and he began to weep, and the shofar blew.
Yes. Wow.
Da-da, 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 da-da.
Wow.
And then a big cheer went up. 2,000 years they'd been denied access to that wall. And
Think
now
about
suddenly they know they're part of prophecy being fulfilled.
Yes.
I don't know why God chose the Jews. I don't know why. I mean, nobody does. We don't have the mind of God. But I know he chose them.
Yes, he did.
And I know we're supposed to stand with them.
That's right.
And I know we're supposed to move our embassy
Yes.
to Jerusalem
Amen.
because that's their capital.
Right. That's right.